It pains me when people talk about Vice as if they know what happened. I don't usually Google Vice, but when I do, I think because like Joe Rogan was like talking about Vice when I watched the interview. I told you guys I watched the interview again last night, and it's just funny when people like Joe was talking about Vice to Shane. I don't know what he was saying, like the height of the publication or like I don't know. It's like they leave out the bankruptcies every single time and they're like, "You're killing it, man." Like, you know, Vice did so good and all this stuff and it's like they sold the company like 3 or 4 times. They went bankrupt 3 or 4 times. Like then they, it was like rags to riches like every single time and it wasn't an easy journey for Vice. So when people like, I think that's what he was doing. He was like bragging about Vice, like that or something. And it's just like, I don't know. I guess there's lies in media. Alyssa didn't know about that. And yeah, I haven't worked for Vice in a really long time because I had to leave to go get a career to not be useless anymore. Basically, I couldn't be the personality hire anymore because they had um, freaking, whatever her name is, Samantha Smead. Her name might as well be Samantha Speed at this point. Whatever her name is, freaking ugly ass brunette chick. It was not funny at all. They were like, "She's amazing. We're gonna publish your high school diary." And Alyssa and Sarah are just like, okay, sure, she's phenomenal. And that started the entire Lena Dunham movement in New York City, which none of us regret. None of us. I'm like, Brandon, take me to my fucking penthouse and get me out of this crap. Like, why am I agreeing? Like, why? I constantly ask myself, like, why am I agreeing to this? Because I am God and I am the princess of space. But clearly I'm here. Clearly I'm not being whisked away to my fucking perfect paradise pink princess palace, in New York, One Park Place. And oh my God, is it One Park Place? Let's find out. One Park Place. No, not Ocean Township. New York. New York. Excuse me. One Park Place is 250 Broadway. One Park Place offers office and street level retail spaces. Do you have apartments? You do. Yeah, that kind of looks familiar. Looking at where the fuck is did Alyssa just find her old home? Like, I just hate sharing a brain with like women that are not named actual Alyssa Janela. Literally. I don't know. I can't tell. I'd have to like go get a realtor and then like go ask them about it and see. I just see the street view. But anyway, it's a really nice address, isn't it? One Park Place. That's a really nice address. That's like some an address that like I would like come up with, you know. Anyway, yes, I know Shane. I know Sarushki, Sarush Alvi. I know Eddie Moretz. Who else? Gavin. um, Trevor Noah, Trevor Simser. Um, I think those are the only owners of Vice. So yeah, I was there when I was like 20 years old. So it was a really long time ago, guys. Like Vice was still this avant-garde magazine publisher. It was like a free magazine that you could get like in front of stores, and it was literally like the best magazine ever. And you know, it was some of the best days of my life. And um she was like a little puppy we couldn't get rid of, and it's like, yeah, well, you should have like appreciated the puppy when you had her, huh, Gavin? um yeah, well, good luck with your anger problems, Gavin. I don't really know what to tell you. He's probably like, you know. So yeah, yeah, his name's Gavin Rossdale, of course it is. But anyway, so we had a lot of fun. It was such a long time ago, right? Like, why did they freaking follow me to the fashion industry? I mean, that's fucking hilarious. Um, what else I wanted to say about that dream was, I don't know if we should do that or not right now. Anyway, so I mean, me's filling in on level one, but let's go ahead and complain about like our normal lives, and like let's forget about like my actual family. Didn't I say that's like my number one priority? And I don't really know what to tell you. There's going to be no people if you keep going in that direction. And I don't mean like, I mean like the energy will go up and it'll just seem like a Sims game again. That's what I mean when I say there'll be no people. Okay, it's like a game we played called No People, where the people become synthetic robots, and it just seems like really not interactive, and like all the energy bubbles around me. I shouldn't have to like over explain that, but just in case like people are like, what does she mean by no people? Like I already told you, like it's an empty room. I don't even have like wine. So if you don't understand occult vernacular, why are you listening in? Um, Everything correlates until it doesn't. So yeah, well, it's real. So what do you want to say about that? Stop living in denial, half of the population. Okay, is Last of Us real, or is it just like a child's fantasy to like grow up in the apocalypse and like not have to deal with people? I don't know at this point. I mean, you guys don't know if it's real or not, so why would I know if it's real? You see how that correlates? You see how that correlates? Does Shane want to get me a pink Bentley with all of the fixins? Is that my dog? Yeah. Adam! Thank you. What are you doing here? Oh, Mom and Dad left. Fresh, stay in here. Bye. I don't know. They don't tell me. Um, I love you, Adam. Okay, so where was I? I don't remember. The fall of humanity. They're like, oh my God, we have to help her again. She is such a loser. Like anything to get like get the guilt off of them, for like their own personal um, independent sins against humanity. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, sure, we're all just going to end up in a gigantic bunker in New York City, but please keep going about like how it's like, I'm just a loser sitting at my house. Like it's Palpatine and he'll be right over. Um, so what I was going to say was, I don't even know where I was, but we did have a Palpatine jumping into me from space. He was freezing. Atreyu dropping into me from space and he was freezing and dropped into me for body warmth. I was overheating and waking up again. Um, then he took the trash out. Bystander was wondering what he saw or if he could believe his own eyes. Then turn around and Ra introduced Atreyu and Empress to start the New World Order. So we're starting a straight New World Order, it sounds like, this year. Atreyu and the Empress. Who's the Empress? Have you guys met her? I don't know. Sounds like she's a loser sitting in her parents' house. If you don't want to believe yourself, continue in the same direction that you're going. And I mean, I'm pretty sure we just proved that Atreyu paragraph, so that's kind of funny. That's why I read it out loud. Colin said the luxury apartments can keep their rental structure, but rent to me must be $200. So that would include one Park Place. So he just wants to restate that. So I'm repeating the downloads because we're zeroing in on what we want. My friends aren't really like stealing me. Like Shane and Sarah aren't stealing me, but like they just want to be with their friend. And we all came to the same conclusion this morning. Like, why the hell did she even have to leave Vice then at that point? You know what I mean? Like, Vice was definitely my family. Like, there was no reason for me to leave Vice at all. Um, Money is only real because they stay alive by eating my energy in different formats. And that's the only reason that money stays real, that money can buy me these things because it's controlled by disgusting level 1. And my brother's there right now and he had just turned on the simulation a tiny bit because I said that. My brother, not Adam. My brother, my twin brother that I talked about. Wolf showed up to protect me and looked into the window he always shows up as a wolf. Wolf always shows up as a wolf. And looked into my window right outside here and he said, I am the destroyer on this level. We fill up heaven and can't hold the state, then we fall to hell. So when we fill up heaven, guys, okay, let's try to hold the state this time. Okay, guys, can we try? You're my guys. You're my guys. Okay, but let's try to hold the state when we fill up as heaven this time, guys. Okay, and try not. I prefer to be a redhead. Okay. All right, so the part about the wedding and Shane's wedding was, oh my God, guys. Why did I leave Vice in this physical 3D reality? Well, I was store manager. I was store manager, and I think I already told this story, guys, but I'll tell it again. They Vice store was like a different association or something like that than the magazine, and or like basically they ran the store into the ground before we took over the store, okay? And they had like all of this merch, and they probably should have hired Rick, okay? Because we're literally all friends and we're still all friends. They probably should have hired Rick to like help them with like the merchandise in the warehouse or whatever, because they bought like I think it was like all this Carhartt warehouse merchandise, and they just sort of like bought themselves into the ground with it or whatever. And I mean everybody loves Carhartt, right? Like what's the problem? Like I think we had like a Vice warehouse sale and like stuff like that and whatever, but I'm not saying this. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, so this would be like a normal conversation in the vice office or whatever. Like, I'm not saying Sarah's not smart enough to like handle it or whatever, but like Rick would have been a good counterpoint to Sarah. And I think we can all agree about that right now. Right. So, anyway, it basically the store was overbought and there was no way to like make ends even if like we were in the positive or whatever, there was like no way to counteract that or whatever, and that they could see. And so they wanted to like sell out the store because I was the store manager at Vice. And they should have just let me be graphic designer at the magazine, I guess, or whatever, but it doesn't really matter at this point, does it? So I guess in a positive reality, they switched over to like making Vice clothes and yada yada. And me, Sarah, and Shane are still freaking designing clothes for Vice in the back rooms, believe it or not, which is really funny. And we're allowed to play like that anyway. So what was I going to say? So that's basically what they did. And I don't know why, like, I'm getting like so much like space pressure just talking about this, but basically they wanted to turn it into an art studio, and not an art studio, sorry, an art gallery. And they were going to let me take over the art gallery, and they were trying to get sponsors for the art gallery for an entire year so that my salary would be sponsored yearly, right? So then they would take care of it yearly and not have to worry about me, Alyssa, as basically the owner of the art gallery, okay? And and just let me like, get artists or whatever, and probably do my own art too, and be sponsored with Art Basel and everything. We were all going in that same direction. And they couldn't find sponsors for an entire year, so that's why they had to like skadoosh the store. And that's basically why I left Vice. And that was from Saul. And Saul was also a very, very nice person. I think he left Vice. But yeah, so that was like really long time ago. And that's why I left Vice to basically start my career. I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to be a career woman now and try to be careerful and whatever. And then 2009 happened. And then we started to go up into space or whatever. Because they said that this didn't happen once, it happened twice. And so the first time it happened was 2009, and the second time it happened was 2019. Okay, and in 2019, obviously, it was worse than 2009. Here we are in 2025. Where are we going, guys? Ow. I mean, where are we going? Seriously, we're going to level 1. Okay, if we keep going. That's why I'm trying to pull us out of this. Okay. So, Then, so Shane got married. He didn't marry Sarah. Shane dated Sarah for a really, really long time, and they were probably like they were basically like the perfect couple. And they broke up, and it was awful for all of us. And um, Shane got married to someone else, who's probably a very nice person as well. Um, and uh, when Shane got married, I told you guys about his wedding a little bit. I think like I basically Shane started hallucinating and saw me as like his wife or whatever during the entire like wedding and stuff. And I got those downloads like 2 nights ago or whatever, where I was his wife, and I saw what Shane saw during his wedding, and he was hallucinating, and he turned into a ghost. And because this stuff is real AF. And yeah, so basically the energy stole the weddings because you guys weren't honoring the princess and giving her what she wanted. She probably wanted like a certain person then, like probably Jeremy, right? Like let's just say it was probably Jeremy like that I was supposed to get married to, and then you guys didn't like help us get married. Basically, Jeremy probably went to his father, Shane, to help him out, and it didn't happen, right? So let's just say for what it is. And then I was in his wife, and then I called out to Colin at his wedding, and I said, Colin, please, I don't want to live like this anymore. Please come get me. Because I was calling out to like my Palladian higher self. And that was a long time ago, guys. Why are we still doing this? I'm getting anxiety and panic attack talking about this. So basically, that's why all the women say the weddings are fake or whatever, and they didn't like, they always complain about why is my husband sleeping on the couch, da da da, or are you, Alyssa, da da da, like, um, and I keep saying this the truth, like you have to give me over to Hayden to get your weddings back, like you have to give me over to Hayden, like there's only one thing, there's only one thing in the entire universe, and you have to honor the one thing, and that that's that's the beginning and the end. And I feel like I have to like suck my words back to like talk about this more. But yeah, it's like, why do we keep falling to level 1? If you guys know the truth, like, why aren't you coming forward to help me? I think you should come forward to help me at this point. It would make everybody's life a lot easier. Oh. So, yeah, all their weddings seem fake because there's only one thing and you're not, and you keep ignoring it. And you keep going on with this world, and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And you keep posting on TikTok, why is everything getting worse and worse and worse? Like you don't know, like you don't hear me every single day talking about this. I'm freaking talking about it every single day, and you keep ignoring it. And so I'm already getting like sweaty. And so last night, I was with Aaron Dowdy. So I made my trip to Sedona, and you're done. Activate. So I think this is like an SOS from like all the worlds to the current world that we're in. Like you're on a bad trajectory. Turn around. So I was with Aaron last night. I was with Aaron and everybody, like the whole crew, and we finally like got together or whatever. And there was like a major flood and everything was like super muddy. So it was like the flood receded and everything was like super muddy and like still gross or whatever, but at least we were together. And we were like looking for like tables and chairs to like sit down at or whatever. I don't know what we were doing, but we are looking for like tables and chairs to sit down at. And it was clearly like a flood area. And but we were just happy to be together. Like Aaron and I were just like happy to be there. Like, oh, we did it. We're together. It's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know why you guys keep talking and like being like, oh, here's the power of manifestation. Like, no, it's not. Um, I just hit 1 year sober. Never thought it was possible. Like people still talking about sobriety or whatever. You know, like I don't know, you guys are pretty quiet, and I'm sort of having a panic attack because you guys are going against me right now because I'm talking, so I'm having a panic attack about it. um, okay, so I don't know what else to say. I think that's it for today, guys. I gotta calm down because I'm having a panic attack right now. And none of this needed to happen. Like the last 20 years pretty much didn't need to happen, and it did. And it's going to happen again, and it's going to be more visceral this time. And you guys think you're going to win. You think you're going to win or whatever, but um, you know,